Hello, welcome to Do Whatever You Think Whatever You Do, episode 11. I'm your host, Daryl Scott, and today we're going to be talking about prenatal wellness. My special co-host is Miss Leticia Almeida. Leticia,
Hello.
thank
How
you
you
for
doing?
coming. I'm good. So Leticia, tell us a little bit about yourself.
So I am a doula, and for those who don't know what that is, a doula is a professional that works with the perinatal period of families, giving support, um, both physical and emotional, and also we help families navigate this whole process with the minimum amount of anxieties and fears, and doing everything we can to make the whole process a whole lot easier than and navigate the possible problems the best way possible.
Okay.
We don't provide any type of clinical medical support, and we
Okay. So basically, it's like a midlife, but without any of the clinical support.
like a what?
Like a midwife. Look at you.
Let's
Like
go.
a midwife. No, we can keep it. But like a midwife, right? But without the clinical support.
So we work hand in hand with midwives.
Okay.
The midwife is a medical professional that will accompany the birth, that will take care of your vitals, and that will attend to the birth.
Okay.
We also attend to the birth, but we don't actively make any decisions, any medical decisions.
Okay.
We're gonna be there for birth. We're gonna be there to help the patients feel more comfortable,
Mhm.
help with breathing exercises, with pain management,
Got
with
it.
we
So all the
help
emotional support, like you
emotional
said,
support,
all the things
breathing.
that the significant other should be doing. No, let me stop.
We actually help the significant other
Also prepare, huh?
also prepare and also teach them how they can be more supportive to their partner, because
Good.
there's so many things to learn. In 9 months, 9 months is not enough time for you to learn everything you have to learn.
Yeah.
So when you have a doula, you have someone guiding you and explaining to the significant other how they can be supportive in that moment. And because obviously that the birthing person is going to feel way more comfortable being helped by their partner than anybody else.
Yeah.
So a lot of the times we, instead of
Mm.
doing the job ourselves,
Mhm.
we can teach the partner how to do it if this is what makes them more comfortable.
Got it.
If they are comfortable enough with being, because it's a very intimate job.
Definitely.
We're gonna be around the families in a very vulnerable time,
Mm-hmm.
and you have to feel comfortable with the person that you're working with. And a lot of the times people are a little more, they need a little more space.
Got it.
So that's when we try to coordinate that interaction with their partners. And a lot of the times they are more welcoming to a more hands-on experience. They will accept massages, they will accept physical touch during birth,
Mm-hmm.
and the postpartum period as well.
Okay.
So doulas can help navigate the whole birthing process from prenatal. We give a little bit of prenatal education. We let them know what to expect in birth,
Mm-hmm.
and how to prepare, and how to make sure that their needs are being heard,
Mm-hmm.
um, because everyone has rights.
Yeah.
No one can tell you that you have to do such a thing in a
certain
certain
way.
way.
Yeah.
So help you make the best decision for yourself and for your family, and empower the clients to understand that they have choices,
Yeah.
so they can make the best choices for themselves,
Good.
rather than just letting the doctor, the medical team, make all the decisions
Yeah.
because they claim that they think is better for them.
So how did you get into this?
Okay, so I am currently in nursing school. I aspire to be a midwife myself,
Okay.
and getting into the doula business
Mm-hmm.
certainly gives me a lot of hands-on experience and a leg up for when I am done with school and start working in midwifery. I will have a good amount of births and postpartum clients under my belt to enhance my experience.
Okay. And I have one exciting thing. She is also a soon-to-be first-time mom.
Yes.
And tell them how far along you are.
I am 37 weeks pregnant now, just waiting to pop.
So you know what that means. That means she should have had the baby. This was a special podcast that I tried to run her on real quickly. No, seriously.
Yeah.
So
I could start going right now.
Yeah, right. Which would be very interesting. No. So what have you been doing yourself to deal with this new circumstance that has come upon you?
So certainly all the experience that I've had from past clients and from studying everything I have studied has helped me a ton.
Yeah.
And I've been trying to do everything that is under my control to make my situation in my life easier and to prepare accordingly. And the gym has been a big part of it.
Okay. So you have been going to the gym. You started going to the gym before hand, though, right?
So beforehand, I was already going to the gym very diligently, taking care of myself, taking care of my body. It's very there's a very big difference when your body is prepared to handle a pregnancy and when it's not, and that can make a world of difference while during the whole process, because pregnancy is no joke.
Yeah.
It's a lot of changes at the same time, a lot of things going on, a lot of hormonal fluctuations, and everybody knows at this point that going to the gym is a big regulator of hormones, especially for women.
You know what I was going to ask, but obviously there would be probably no way to figure out if this is true. I was about to ask I wonder if exercise makes the actual delivery easier.
100%.
Oh, really?
There is solid evidence that not only the delivery, but also the carrying the pregnancy.
Carrying, I figured, but I just wondered if it makes it a little bit, maybe if the body is more prepared for the pushing.
It is, 100%. So not only gym exercises, I've been also doing pelvic PT, pelvic physical therapy, which prepares your whole pelvic floor to open and contract and do all the things that it's got to do the right way. And also the gym, all the mobility. You see me doing all the mobility exercises.
Yeah, so tell them the different things that you do at the gym.
Yeah, so at the gym, I try to do a little bit of everything.
All over. Our gym is like a little jungle gym, and she is taking full advantage.
I am. Getting my money's worth. So I will do a little bit of calisthenics. I will do weightlifting. I'll play pickleball. I'll do yoga, and it's
nice.
And it is a good way to keep yourself active, because it's not every day that I'm feeling like lifting weights.
Yeah.
So that day I'll go to yoga. Some days I don't feel like doing anything at all, and I go play pickleball and I have fun, and I am keeping myself active, and I'm doing something for myself, and more importantly, I am maintaining my habit of constantly going to the gym. Yeah.
So, real quick, I want to touch on the yoga, though, because the yoga that you take specifically is a Bikram yoga. And there's sometimes when you probably go in there and you don't want to do anything, so you just sit there. How is just being in that warmth for the pregnancy and just relaxing, if that's what you wanted to do? Or the yoga?
So, it's funny because most doctors will tell women to stop doing hot yoga during pregnancy. And you really have to be comfortable in your body and understand your limits. And most doctors who will be a little more holistic, which midwives and nurse practitioners tend to be a little bit more than obstetricians.
Yes.
They will usually tell you that everything you did before pregnancy that your body is used and comfortable with, it's okay to continue doing. Many times I've been to yoga class and I was able to take the whole class, and some days pregnancy takes a big toll on your body. You feel tired all the time when you see all these fit moms on Instagram Don't believe that they are going full blast
Don't
every
believe the
single
hype.
day.
Don't believe
Because
the hype.
some days they are pretty shot. I am 100% sure. um, and the same thing goes to yoga. You have to be in tune with your body. You have to understand what your body is asking from you. And some days I'm gonna use the yoga class as a meditation and a quiet time
Yeah.
opportunity.
Which is there for all of
and
those
I
things.
will do whatever I can, and whatever I feel like my body is not ready to do that day, I am gonna skip, and I am going to just like do breathing exercises and use that time to do what my body is asking me to do.
Yeah. So what about now pickleball? Because pickleball is like a smaller version of tennis, and it's a little bit more moving around. I mean,
Exactly.
It is doubles as opposed to singles. But
Yes.
how does this feel playing? How?
It definitely feels a little different.
Okay.
The there's a bit, in my case, it's a bit of hip discomfort.
Okay.
And again, it's about being in tune with your body so you don't overdo it, so you don't hurt yourself. And when everybody tells me, "Oh, you can't do this,"
They're more worried about you.
Yes. So you have to think rationally.
Yeah.
So what are the chances if I wouldn't play tennis? If I get a tennis ball, like hit me,
just even hitting that ball takes a little bit more.
Exactly, and it's going to be painful. If I get, doesn't matter how hard I get hit from with a pickleball ball, and it's not gonna hurt.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not gonna hurt my belly. It's not gonna hurt me.
And the paddle is pretty light, and it bounces. The ball bounces off of it easily.
Exactly. Yeah. So I am clearly not playing back-to-back games for 2 hours like I used to do before. Yeah. I'm not chasing the ball no matter what, like I did before. Yeah. I am playing, keeping myself active, keeping myself doing that cardio. That is the cardio that works for me, within my limits.
And keeping yourself like in social environments. How does that tie into
it? That's a great point, because a lot of the times when you get pregnant, you have some people feel forced to stop doing some things, or they will listen to medical advice that will tell them to stop doing such a thing or to start doing other things. And it's a very
they fall into a depression.
It's a big change.
Yeah.
Like one day you go in there, you have this habit of going every day, of seeing your people every day, of playing, of being in that environment every day, and then the next day you see yourself forced out of it, and that can play a big like psychological role in your pregnancy.
That's what made me ask that, because I thought about like, when you've come into the pickleball, they're all happy to see you. You're happy to see that. That must be happy. I know every day is probably different being pregnant, and most of the days are probably just uncomfortable, if nothing else.
Yes.
So being around people kind of helps you distract and take away from that. You're focused on other things. So I could see this being helpful. Talk about the strength training, because you've also been doing that. Do you think that the pregnancy has made you like be able to increase more strength, if you will, or draw more power, if you will? Have you find yourself lifting heavier or lighter or in the same spot? Is more my direct question.
It's funny. So mentally, it will.
You feel like you do anything?
It will require a lot of strength to leave your bed.
That's funny.
So you have to really stay like true to yourself and to the things that you want to keep doing. Yeah. Because boy, it's not
easy.
It's not easy, because the first trimester you are like, I was nauseous for 4 months. You used to see me every morning. Cranky and miserable, but I was going and I was doing whatever I could do.
And that's probably the hardest but the most important stage to do it, because you're just feeling this sickness, discomfort, but it's probably every day. So that part is annoying. I mean, I can imagine having like a hangover every day and feel like you're going to throw up every single morning. So it must be
exactly like a hangover.
But pushing past that, just like if you push past a hangover, it will make the rest of the day good.
It will totally make a big difference. I can tell you that I haven't had back pain my whole pregnancy
Nice.
because I really did focus on strengthening my back for carrying milk
And the baby.
and the baby.
Yeah.
And then after I have the baby, I'm gonna have to breastfeed in straining positions where I'm gonna be leaning forward. So there are certain specific types of training that will prepare the body to handle that.
Nice.
So I've been focusing on these things. I've been focusing on hip exercises and hip openers,
Mhm.
both in yoga and in weightlifting.
Okay.
Squatting is really good to keep that hip mobility.
So you are able to squat still.
I am. It looks funny. It looks weird, and it's funny because some days you will see me squatting with 5 and 5 because it's the best I can do that day.
Yeah.
Some days I can squat my usual weight,
Yeah.
but it's all about understanding your body, staying tuned with your body, and listening to what your body needs that day.
So then, and then the other is the gymnastic stuff. Talk about this.
So yeah.
Talk about the type, what you do. She focuses on the rings. Go ahead.
So rings and handstands.
Rings and handstands.
Rings and handstands. So like he said, our gym is a jungle gym. Everyone is all over the place doing all the things, and I am very curious and I like to learn things. And when I see people doing calisthenics, I'm like, ooh, what are you doing? Can you teach me? And then I really got into calisthenics, which involves rings and handstands.
How long have you been doing this, the rings?
The rings I started right before I got pregnant.
Okay.
And I got a little frustrated because I literally lost 100% of my progress.
Mm.
I still have the skill of awareness and positioning
of
and
the
like
body, yeah.
yes.
But this is
so I
important.
I have the technical skill,
yeah.
but I don't have the physical ability anymore.
Mm.
Which I still tried.
Well,
Last week I tried.
Listen, I was about to say though, if you think about it, and I mean, people don't know how to balance their own body weight anyway, as it is. So if you was learning that and now you got something that's in the middle of the body that can move around, you know, it's like, so I can only imagine trying
throws off your balance.
Find out the balance.
But it's possible. I've been doing way less. Before I would go upstairs and practice handstands for an hour.
Yeah.
And now I can only do like 5, 6 inversions at a time. And that's good enough.
How is the handstands? Because this is another and separate thing. It's more of a static positioning, but it's the opposite way. How does this feel on the body pregnant doing it?
So a lot of people get really concerned when they see me doing handstands. And again, you have to understand your body. You have to understand your abilities.
Mm-hmm.
I never, ever, ever fell off a handstand in a way that I could possibly hurt myself.
Well, you have been very comfortable in doing it before it happened, and that's important.
If you do a handstand, my falling out of a handstand is just like the second half of a cartwheel. I just land on my feet.
You learn how to fall. Exactly.
I was 100% comfortable before pregnancy with doing that, and
you didn't lose any way of how to do it.
Because if you see videos on Instagram of women doing handstands while pregnant, you will see a ridiculous amount of comments saying that they're being irresponsible, that they're putting their babies at risk for likes and all that. But there are so many benefits.
Yeah. Knowing
that you are like doing it safely.
Yeah.
And on days that I'm not feeling my best, I don't even try.
Yeah.
And it actually feels good because when you go upside down, it relieves all that pressure from your pelvic floor.
What I was gonna ask.
And
is it a drastic move that you feel in your stomach, I guess, when you go upside down, or is it like a slow move?
It's a slow move.
Okay,
it's slow. You feel just as if you had, like, at this stage of pregnancy, you feel constant pressure on your bladder, especially, and on your pelvic floor. And at the end of the day, when you like been carrying yourself around the whole day, especially now that I'm just waddling everywhere, you feel that extra weight and pressure on your hips.
Yeah.
And there are exercises that doulas can teach to people who don't know how to do handstands that involve inversions that you don't need to know how to balance,
Okay.
and that you don't need to have any previous training.
Mhm.
You can do it with support just to help relieve that pressure. It's also good to prevent babies from being breech. For those of you who don't know, breech baby is when the baby is sitting up instead of head down.
Yeah.
Because when the baby sometimes is breech is like sitting on top of the cervix,
Yes.
and the baby doesn't have enough space within the hip to turn to the right position. A lot of the turning baby techniques involve going upside down. But because a lot of people don't know how to go upside down, they will do these things in a pool. They will um, help women with tumbling inside of a pool and all that. Because when you go upside down, you relieve that pressure from the pelvis. Sometimes you
I've heard
create
about
the
it, yeah.
space that you need for the baby to turn.
Yeah.
So there are benefits,
Mhm.
and there are also risks. But like I said before, as long as you know your body, you are comfortable with your skill level,
Mhm.
and you know what you're doing,
Yeah.
and you're not being irresponsible and doing something just because you feel like you have to do that day,
Yeah.
it will be fine.
Yeah. I did read. Well, I was certified in pre and postnatal training as well. But something that they definitely say is water exercises are good for
Oh, swimming.
women
Being inside a
because
pool.
you're in water, the baby's in water, so
Yes.
it's like the water is basically carrying the baby now through
It
your
is.
skin and
And it
stuff.
feels good on you too because
Yeah,
you feel. I put up 35 pounds, a little over 35
that's what I'm
pounds.
saying.
And it doesn't seem like I gain weight anywhere else
Yeah.
but on my belly.
Yeah.
And it's a lot. Can you imagine walking around with a 35-pound plate on tied to your belly?
I know, that's crazy. That's
It's
great.
like.
And you know what else?
So when you go inside a pool,
Mhm.
is the only time that you feel your body kind of like back to how it was pre-pregnancy. You feel that weight lifting, and it really feels comfortable.
Something that I just thought about when you mentioned like how much weight you put on, and um, I thought about like the size of babies. That means the liquid that is in the embryonic sac
Yeah.
is heavy.
It is heavy because it's not
Which
only
water
that.
is heavy?
But it's not only that. Is so women get about 2 liters, 2 extra liters of blood circulating
Also,
in our
oh
body.
yeah, because they've got to pass it on.
Because
So
you
that's
need,
also liquid.
so you have increased amount of blood in your body. We grow a whole organ. Like the placenta is an organ that we grow out of nowhere, and it's heavy as well.
This is why I was asking about if you feel increased strength because of all this extra. You're getting like plus 1.5.
No, you don't get. You get decreased strength.
Oh, okay. Because you're feeding that to the baby. It makes
sure
that makes sense. That makes sense.
Yes. So
Yeah.
this baby is
Yeah.
living completely
On its own.
off my
Yeah.
energy. I'm sharing 100% of my energy with the baby.
Yeah.
24/7.
Got
So
it. I got
I've
it
never
now.
been more hungry in my life, and it's a type of hunger that I've never experienced. I feel like I am going to die if I don't eat whenever I feel like I have to eat.
So I want to talk quickly about the cravings and like because I know that pregnancies you get very very weird cravings.
Yeah.
How often do they come? Or can you withstand a craving? Yeah. How often do they come? And can you withstand a craving? And are you still able to maintain like some of the diet that you had previously?
So I think the craving situation is very closely related to the lifestyle and the habits that you had prior pregnancy.
Oh, okay.
Because my stomach is a little finicky. I have a lot of acid reflux. Even before pregnancy, I've had some stomach discomfort. If I eat certain foods, I will feel very bloated and uncomfortable. So I haven't had really weird cravings. What I have is I will go 2 weeks wanting to eat the same thing every day.
Okay.
And then, but I kind of like stayed true to my diet. I've been craving a lot of fruit because it's the only thing that I can eat as much as I want and not feel a little gross or like Right now, at the end of the pregnancy, my nausea kind of came back a little bit,
Okay.
which is normal because the baby's kind of like pressing on the stomach and it's a little
Okay.
like uncomfortable. But it's I think that the craving situation is closely related to your
What you
habits.
already okay.
If you have the habit of eating, because like I said, you get hungry a lot. So if you're already used to snacking on
I've
whatever,
heard I've heard of girls being pregnant and they'll have a craving like I want a cinnamon bun with hot sauce
yeah,
and a milkshake.
I haven't.
It's like what are you talking
I
about?
have not
So you haven't
experienced.
had
I haven't
okay, nothing
experienced
crazy
such
like that.
thing. Nothing
I
crazy
knew
like
one woman who had a cravings for McDonald's fries all the time, and she said that still now her baby love
that. One
coming
thing,
out.
one thing that I'm eating, that I'm drinking actually a lot that I usually don't is
Okay,
Coke,
Coca-Cola.
Coca-Cola.
See, this
So
so it does have something.
yes,
It's
because I think it's any type of soda will
because of the carbonation.
because of the carbonation, it will help you with a lot of. I've heard it from a lot of people that it helps you with nausea.
Yeah, it does.
And
ginger ale, apple
ginger
cider,
ale,
people,
yes.
yeah.
But I have chosen Coca-Cola,
Okay.
and it's crazy because everything you do, the minute you get pregnant, you start feeling guilty about everything you do.
That's fun because you're thinking that you got this.
Because you're responsible, like you have another life inside of you, and then everything
You
you
don't want to do anything wrong.
you don't want to do anything to harm the baby. And then every time I drink a can of soda, I am like, oh my god, I'm sorry,
Feeling
baby.
guilty.
But at the same
the baby's
time,
probably like, no, this is what I want.
Exactly. But at the same time, I try to balance out with other things that I do.
No,
because,
that's good. Yeah. And then, so the last question is the other surprise is that she's actually going to do a home birth.
Yes.
So, talk about this. What made you decide to do it?
Being a doula and being a nursing student and constantly being exposed to hospital birth and the whole hospital system, actually.
Explain a little bit without, just from what you feel based on.
So, I believe that the whole physiological natural process of birthing should be respected as much as possible.
Gotcha.
And then we have normalized hospital birth in a way that is not really respecting that physiological process.
Gotcha.
For instance, have you heard that oxytocin is a love hormone?
Yes.
Everybody probably heard that.
Yeah.
And it truly is.
Yeah.
It's a hormone that is released from your brain.
It's also released, exactly.
It's the hormone that is responsible for the contractions. So that hormone is going to cause the contractions. But that because they say that's the love hormone, because your body releases that hormone when you are comfortable, when you are happy, when you have people that you feel good about around you. Yep. And you don't have any of that in the hospital. You get to the hospital and you are in labor and they make you fill out a crazy amount of paperwork while in labor.
Got it. So
in between contractions, you'll be sitting there.
So you're saying that the body is not able to go through the natural process of appreciating what's happening because your brain is so busy worrying about this and that. And
then the hospital is so cold, and then you have bright lights on you, and then all of these things are proved to impair the release of that hormonal cascade that you need.
So you're not comfortable. The baby might not be. Most likely will not be if you're not, because they're inside of you.
Exactly. Not even talking about the amount of interventions that they will push in the hospital, because they have a schedule. They see you as a number. They have however many women giving birth at the same time. Yeah. They have to juggle that amount of people. Yeah. So they'll come in your room. They will push Pitocin on you to accelerate your labor.
Different medications.
They will try to do cervical checks all the time, because cervical checks will tell them how dilated you are.
So that you can start.
That doesn't do you any good.
Yeah. If you want it natural, you want it to feel. You want it to be ready and to come. But some people real quick, because we want to wrap up soon. But some women feel like they need to go, and obviously to each his own, because they probably can't handle the contractions.
And that's the beauty of it. So when you have enough information, when you have enough education on the matter, on pregnancy, you are able to make the best decisions for yourself.
Yeah.
You are 100% entitled to have an epidural if you want. You are 100% entitled to choose an induction. For some people, that works better than the natural approach.
So home is obviously in the tub.
Not necessarily.
But for you, that's how you plan?
I have a tub at home. Like the midwife team and practice, they will bring the tub beforehand. I already have it at home. I had my home visit last week.
Oh, so it's not like your home bathtub. They actually bring a different tub that you...
They bring the inflatable tub because it's really comfortable. It's way more comfortable than your home tub.
Makes sense. Sitting in that, yes.
Yes.
Makes
sense. You can labor in your tub. You can labor in your shower. You can labor in your bed. You can labor in the toilet. The toilet is one great place to labor.
Because
you don't want to labor.
You
don't labor in a hospital toilet because you don't. It's not the cleanest place in the world.
Yeah.
At home, like the body, it's very interesting because when you sit in the toilet, your body immediately associates that to expelling something.
Exactly.
So it really relaxes your pelvic floor. So it's a great place to labor. And that's the beauty of laboring at home. You will have only people that you trust and that you allow around you.
So that makes you more comfortable. That makes your baby more comfortable. It probably makes the situation
most likely the midwife
the most comfortable it could be.
Most likely the team that will attend to your birth will be very hands off. There will be no unnecessary touching, no unnecessary cervical checks unless you ask for one, and there's way less external factors that could affect your birth. But again, this is my choice. I am glad that I had the ability to make this choice.
Yeah.
And the whole beauty of having the support and the education that you need is being able to make those decisions without fear.
Yeah.
You don't want to make, what we see a lot is women and families making decisions like totally fear-based.
Yeah. Based on what they don't know.
I'm not 100% comfortable with the situation, but this is what I'm going to go with because I'm afraid that if I don't choose this, I'm going to have a problem. And the best way to remove those anxieties and fears is to educate yourself.
Yeah. Makes sense.
So that's the whole key.
Okay, so we have to wrap up today, but I definitely will have Leticia on after she has the baby. It could be in 1 week or 1 day, guys.
And that's crazy too. Knowing that I could give birth in 1 hour or in 3 weeks from now is totally bananas.
Yeah. But yes, that's all for today, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.